Lovelies. Welcome back to another episode of Fam Chats. I'm so excited with y'all because it's going to be a little nursing girls time. So I have my good friend, Ashley. You want to give a quick introduction to yourself?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name's Ashley Granados. I'm 23 years old, and I'm Salvadorian, and I'm born and raised here in Winston-Salem.
Okay, awesome. Yes. So, I love your little background. Not little background, but I love your I love your background, how you have like a whole like mini farm and everything.
Yes.
Like, can you give me a little backstory on that?
Yeah, so I actually lived in Winston-Salem up until last May. So it's been 1 year since we've moved to Lexington. And it really was just like my parents, they wanted some change, and my dad just went on a whim, bought a little house over there with some land. And because he was born and raised in El Salvador, so he's been used to that like country, like just agricultural life of just having animals, growing stuff, and he just wanted the same thing for us. Even though we're a little older, it was something he's always wanted. He always wanted like a big piece of land to live on, and instead of going back home, he was like, why not do it just here? So he did that, and it was just sudden, and just told us, you guys ready to go? I was like, I guess so. I'm not moving out. Like, I still have 1 more year of school. So yeah, it's been a long year of just new trials and just everything. Yes. So we've been adjusting pretty well. I feel like it feels like home now. It's just like a complete 360, like 180 of how we were living before.
I get it. No, I can imagine, especially like earlier today. It's like, hold on a second, I gotta catch my goat.
I know. I was like, she's probably gonna think I'm so crazy telling her that I'm literally gonna be late because my goat got out. But she's one of the newer goats that we got. She's so mischievous, and she has such a beautiful like character. Like, she has personality. She does. She's just so crazy though. They remind me of dogs, like in a way that they like to play.
Okay.
I didn't realize goats were because this is my first time having animals, so I didn't know they were so like playful and aggressive. Sometimes she has like little horns, like the tiniest
baby
little horns.
Yes.
But she's so mean and funny at the same time, and she's looking for food. It's because, they're fenced in about like 1 acre, but there's taller grass on the outside. So they're always seeking, that greener grass that's just about 1 foot high. So she's ready for that. And she knows that we have treats. So every time she gets out, she gets a treat, because that's the only way I can get her back in. That's the only way. If I shake the bag,
like screaming.
Yes, she comes running. Yeah.
Maybe that'd be her master plan.
Yeah. No, that is. Because she was in the chicken coop, like, trying to eat their food. So I'm like, sis, you have grass over there. I need you to
eat the grass.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Girl. Well, that's good. So I do have a quick question. Was nursing, like, always something you were interested in?
100%. Yes. It's always been. I've always wanted to do like something in the medical field. And when I was in like middle school, maybe even a freshman in high school, I was like, I think I want to be a doctor, guys. Oh. And then I like learned more about what it meant to be a doctor. And I knew that what I wanted, like, for myself was I wanted to be more connected to the patient.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to have more one-on-one and have that I don't want to say doctors don't have a big impact, but I feel like we have a deeper connection with the patients. And that's what I wanted. Like, I wanted something that was more fulfilling, like, for my own views and just what I wanted.
I gotcha. Mm-hmm. No, I totally understand, because when I first started out, in general, I was not feeling the medical field. Mm-hmm. So, but it's good to hear that from the start, you had an idea and a direction you wanted to go into. Yeah. But yeah, pretty much my similar thing was nursing, because, I had a lot of family like, oh, why not be a doctor or OBGYN? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I mean, they may like check up on their patients and stuff, but I agree, nurses do have more of a bigger influence. Mm-hmm. I feel like, so more of a better impact. So I totally get that. So talking about challenges, I do want to start with one of the questions our community asked us. Mm-hmm. How do you balance med life and personal life? So faith, spirituality, family, self-care, fun, all that good stuff. Yeah.
I'm giggling because at the beginning of this, I had no balance. I was literally crying every single day. It was so sad. I was by myself because I transferred from Forsyth Tech. So, like, it was, like, just a shift from community college to, like, an actual university. It was and I didn't have any friends. Like, I felt like I was starting all over again. But because I had friends at Forsyth Tech, so I came here by myself, and I knew that was the plan all along. But when I actually did it, I was like, wow, I'm really by myself. Like, I don't know anyone, especially like starting the program, because we took intro to nursing,
right?
And it was nice, but I still didn't really meet anyone there. I was still doing my own thing, and then it wasn't until like I started the nursing program, like probably the second semester, which was like when we started doing clinicals. Well, even though we did it first semester, but the second semester was when I actually made friends. But that balance in personal life, I'm still learning. I mean, even though we're done, I was still learning this past semester. Even though I felt I was more comfortable with the way things, I think we just became comfortable with all the stress and all the like tasks and studying we had to do. It wasn't anything new, but I did have to make sacrifices, a lot of sacrifices. I was used to, because I'm a big family person, like I love my family. I spend, like, my mom's my best friend, my sister's my best friend. So, like, I went from coming home and, like, unwinding with them, maybe watching a movie, just eating dinner together was a big thing for me. So, because I did stay at home with them. So, just knowing that I would come home at like 9 or 10 and everyone would already be in bed. And I'm like, wow, like I'm by myself. I'm like, okay, let's unwind, do something just for me. And then sometimes I'd come home and I'd still have to study. So it'd be even more like, okay, like all I did was wake up, go to school, study, go home, study. It was just like over and over and over again. And then I'm a youth leader at church. So like I was in charge of a lot of like our worship services, and I was doing that with 2 other leaders. So it was a good like balance, but I went from being like more hands-on to like, okay, like I can't help out this service, but next one I can. So I really had to plan things out like ahead of time when I could go to church, when I could teach classes and have Bible studies. So yeah,
I can definitely relate to the crying every night. I thought I was crazy.
No, you're not. You're not.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And yeah, it does take a minute to adjust. I like how you use the word getting comfortable, because you have younger nursing students or people about to enter the nursing program, and they're like, does it get better? And it's kind of hard because it definitely doesn't get easier, but you do learn how to like navigate those type of things more efficiently. So I'm very surprised you were like a youth leader in your church.
I had it was a full thing. Like I had to sit down, like have a meeting with everyone. I was like, I need help. Like I can't do this I want to keep on supporting the youth in our community, but I'm up to my head with everything with school. So it was hard for me to ask for help because I'm not used to that, like in terms of like when it comes to responsibility and stuff like that. But I had to sit down with my pastor and I was like, Pastora, I can't. I was like, I need some assistance. So other leaders were able to step up and like help take that weight off of me, and we were still able to have our services, and now it's become more manageable. Like now that we are comfortable with it, because it definitely, the workload has not changed at all. But I mean, if we were to do it all over again, I think we would be more like with the experience that we do have. Like if we were to go back to school, I think we'd feel more confident and more ready.
Right, most definitely, especially on the ready part. Because I will say it was until nursing school I realized I didn't know how to study for real.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I was like so used to like just reading and I'll get it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh baby, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome that you have like a supportive community. I will highlight, going back to the question, it's definitely important to have like a really supportive community, whether that's family, whether that's I know everybody has like different spiritual differences, but you definitely have to have some type of spiritual center. Yeah.
Yes.
You really need it. Because I used to be really involved with my mosque, host events and stuff like that. So I was like, oh wait, hold on, this is actually crazy. And it really broke my heart when I was like, oh, I can't speak at this, or I can't plan this event, and it literally like I'll be like, after nursing school, I'm going to be so like ready to go.
Yeah.
But that's good that you had the support.
Yeah.
And speaking on family, I was that girly. A lot of Winston-Salem State students, if you're like from North Carolina, you always went home during the weekends.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you stayed on campus.
Yeah.
So you always went home every weekend. That was me up until like probably like that first semester of nursing school. And then I just found myself staying on campus at months at a time, not seeing my family. And that was like really like a hard adjustment. I was like, oh no. I used to joke, but I never said it to everybody because I was like, people gonna think I'm crazy. But I was like, it was only until nursing school that I actually got homesick.
Oh.
So yeah, so it was like, and there was like other personal factors going on too.
Yeah.
So it was just compounding all of that. Girl, me and my roommate, she was also in a program also at the time. So girl, we was both stressed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely having that support system, definitely having a spiritual base. I'm glad how you mentioned planning.
Yeah.
Because girl, I mean, I use planners on and off, but I was holding onto my planner for dear life. Yeah.
No, because normally I never really used a planner. Like you said, like it was really, we had to change a lot of things, or I had to change a lot of things when I started nursing school. Because, I've always had a planner, but it was just for, for funsies. Got a little cute one. I never really used it. But no, this time I really had to crack down and like actually like plan when I was going to hang out with friends even, which was really sad. I was like, what am I doing? I'm like, how did we get here? But I admire like students that live on campus and away from home, from their family, because it takes a lot of strength to get through that.
Right.
Because I can't imagine, because I know how supportive like my parents have been from me coming home, like not having the energy to cook anything. And my mom's like, here you go. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Like I'll be studying in my room, like breaking my head over something. And she'll just come in with the plate of fruit. Here you go, honey. I'm like,
oh, no, that'd be.
Yeah. So, no, I admire y'all a lot because I know how hard it can be.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, girl. Yeah, no, because meal plan, it was like, oh, this is cute. I'm like, no, this is, if I'm going to eat tonight, I'm going to have to cook it, like, the next day. So, yeah. Cool. So, challenges. That's awesome. We just finished off of that with challenges.
Yeah.
Excuse me. What is your advice with dealing with challenges and fear and how to overcome them?
Oh, wow. Challenges
Yeah.
and fear. Fear of what? Fear of fear.
Yeah.
Because I had that fear sometimes. Or just like in the clinical setting, I remember going to clinicals. I was so scared. So scared I was going to mess up because they really drilled into you. Like all those important like objectives and how you present yourself, what you need to bring, all your paperwork and stuff like that. And then I'll never forget the nursing care plan that first night we did it. I was like, what is this? I did not understand a single thing that was on that piece of paper. But when it came to it, I just asked a lot of questions. That's the best thing you can do. And never leave anything blank. Just fill it out. Just get something in there. Better to try and then get it wrong and then educate you. But of course, like when you're doing actual like stuff, like clinical stuff, don't try it and get it wrong.
Right.
Just ask for help. I'm talking about like paperwork and stuff like that when they're not with you there in the moment. Yeah, especially documentation. Like when we learned how to document for the first time chart. That was definitely like I could not do that alone. I was like, okay, am I doing this right? And just having someone double check behind me. But in terms of challenges, I just gave it all to God. I did. I just laid it down. And that took a lot for me, too, because at first I was, like, trying to hold it all in and, like, trying to – it doesn't work that way, but that's what I tried to do. I think I grew stronger in my faith, like, throughout this whole journey, honestly, and really confiding in loved ones, too, and just talking to my friends about it, letting it out. That was the biggest way that I dealt with it, whether it was journaling, prayer, or just talking with friends and family. Yeah, and then trying not to let go of myself, too, in the process. Yeah. It was funny. I saw hobbies and fun. I was like, I don't even know if I
No, because it's like, I've given them up so long. Yeah. And it's like, and I think I mentioned it, how literally social media has been, like, really my only avenue of, like, creative space. And when I remember when I was younger, I used to like draw, paint, make crafts, like a lot. And it's just like barely one avenue. And like some days I had to skip it because of academic stuff. So, no. Yeah. So, yeah.
We got to put it on hold.
Yeah, right.
But we came back to it, or we're going to come back to it. Because I'm excited after graduation.
Yes, most definitely. I literally have a list of things I want to try out.
A list of places I want to go. A list of books I want to read. Mm-hmm.
Literally. There's something you brought up. Definitely that, because background information about when she's talking about fear of clinicals. I don't think people get the intensity of clinicals when she was talking about documentation, different tools and stuff that, you are prepared. They will send your behind home.
Yeah. They will. If you're not, if your work isn't up to par or it's not filled out or you just come unprepared, because coming unprepared can mean a lot of things. It's so broad from the way you look, from the way you're presented if you forget something. Yeah, so it was a big fear, like coming in and forgetting like your nursing packet.
Right,
yeah,
oh my God,
or just like I double check everything, all med templates, count them all again in the morning. Yeah.
Girl, that's a whole thing. So yeah, I definitely getting comfortable with the challenge of, okay, I'm a beginner. I think that's kind of realizing the actual core of the fear is being a beginner. Yeah. And being a beginner that's actually struggling to get even an understanding of everything. So definitely having that outlet of family, definitely God. I'm glad you brought up your relationship got stronger, because I know it definitely got better with mine. Because I always thought, oh yeah, me and God, we cool. I mean, we're friends.
Yeah.
No, we locked in. We locked in. Yes, because you do have moments where it's like, sometimes you want to talk to your friends and family, and they're understanding, but it's like they don't get it.
No, they're not with you in that same aspect. Like my parents, especially, they never went to college. They didn't really. My dad didn't finish high school, and my mom, she had to drop out when she had my brother. So it's like I was navigating everything for the first time, because my brother, he did go to a community college, but he still didn't really have the answers to what I needed when it came to like filling out applications or just like college life in general. So I didn't really have anyone to ask for help with, and then like advisors and counselors, I didn't get that either.
Yeah.
So it was a big new, it was just a lot to navigate.
I get it. Yeah. And I recognize a shared story among specifically nursing students. I don't know. I wonder if that's just part of the calling of nursing. Our lives be extra crazy, even outside of like actual academics, nursing school. So like transfer, you navigate it by yourself. I recently when I came into nursing school, like 2-3 weeks prior, I lost my grandmother. So I will say that first month, I was a straight up autopilot. So even learning to be even present in class when I just really just want to be in bed. It was definitely hard to transition. It was very hard to navigate. And I realized other classmates really don't have the support system, and because of that support system, they're working a lot of hours. And I'm actually applaud to people who actually work.
I forgot about work.
Yeah, girl, she's a barista, y'all. So because I'm looking at my life, and I'm grateful for the content creating side because I'm able to do gigs, so I'm able to stretch my money for a short amount of time. But people who have to work throughout the week, it's I applaud y'all.
Well, no, for real, because thankfully I was only working part-time. But even though it was little baby shifts, 6 hours or 5 hours, to add that on top of just a full-time clinical schedule, and then studying, because studying takes so much time, full days of studying, and then class, and then just everything in between just other things. Because then we would have to go to the hospital, too, before a clinical day. And then that would take, half a day to get all that information, fill out those packets and everything. So, and then commuting there too.
Right.
But yeah, no, I had to pick one or the other. Like, I was still working my little baby shifts, but I started giving them away. I was like, I can't. Thankfully, I didn't have to depend on them as much as, because I see mothers working full-time jobs, having children. No.
Like, y'all built different.
Yeah, you are. Because to have to go home after a long day of just getting all this information and then going home and taking care of your babies, that's amazing. Like,
respect,
yes. They need more support, I feel like. If anything, I feel like they need more support because it's not easy.
For real. And I'm glad you brought up support. This is like a personal thought. And low-key a question, because I realized how it wasn't, I knew nursing itself had some gaps when it comes to self-care as a nurse, as a student, just as a profession as itself. But it was only till I started, I was like, oh no, we really out here just winging off of just air. Just on fumes, literally all day, every day, even after you graduate and start your career. So I have been even thinking about, like, because personally, you know, your girl working towards getting a car. So I thought about, hey, you have universities who have this long connection with hospitals, and it's like, you don't have a shuttle for some students
that are staying on campus.
And I get that can be an expense, but, you know, people come to this university strictly for the nursing program sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people. Yeah, so it's like finding those support systems outside of to support students, support nurses. What are your thoughts on that, how you think the profession or academia can, like, better support nurses?
I think the gap in general from starting nursing school and then prepping for nursing school before that, during your undergrad, I think that's something that needs to be talked about more, because I feel like there's such a big gap between going from taking, I don't want to say regular classes, but, you know, prereqs. Yeah, like from anatomy or psychology to just jumping straight into the curriculum, which I get how nursing fundamentals, nursing, intro to nursing, not nursing fundamentals, intro to nursing is supposed to help with that, but I feel like there's something more, like when it comes like to emotionally or mentally that we can, because, you know, you can give the information like, this is like a basic or the foundation of what you're going to be learning these next 2 years. But in terms of breaking it down and how to actually understand it, I feel like that's something extra that they need. Or just more programs, because I don't think there are any programs, just programs in general to help new nurses or new nursing students come together and talk about what's going on. And it would be nice to have like graduate students or people that have already gone into the program, or even senior nursing students to be like a part of that so that they can give advice to those students. Because I know just speaking it or talking it out with someone that's already been through it can help tremendously. And our professors, you know, they're there to help, but they went through nursing school years ago. So it's like it's changed a lot since then, you know, in terms of how we study and just the experiences at the hospital too. Clinical instructors, that's a big thing. Clinical instructors, it really is a bargain, like who you get.
I was blessed.
Yeah, I've been blessed too. I've been greatly blessed with my clinical instructors, but I've heard scary, like, horror stories about students and the clinical instructors they get, because your clinical instructor teaches you everything. They create the atmosphere for how the clinical setting is going to be. If you come fearful and then you have that instructor that's going to be like, okay, guys, I'm here to help, support you. If you have any questions, come to me. Like, that's amazing. That's, in a perfect world, that's what we want for every nursing student. But oftentimes, like, you may see that not happening. You come in and it's like it's just an unsettling or not welcoming experience. Yeah, but yeah, we've been blessed.
No,
I've had great instructors, but
yeah, most definitely that support system. I'm glad you brought up the transition or intro to nursing class, because I do feel like you literally do not know what you're getting into until you just start. And I feel like for the field, I get it. But I don't know. I guess when it comes to Kate, you're dealing with the lives of people. Yeah. I feel like you should have more of a a better idea outside of, the academia side. But it's like, no, hey, you're going to be spending multiple days and long hours of study. You're not going to see your friends and family.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of hinted at that during, orientation?
Yeah, they
but
did.
I mean, we locked in now.
Yeah. It wasn't what was it, like the warning they gave, I guess, about how, you can't work full time. You can't. And it's like, you have to give a little more than that to people that are having to work full time to have their home, keep their family afloat, and just pay for all expenses. Like, people cannot afford. Some people cannot afford to not work. So
Literally.
It's like, instead of saying you can't work full time, let's figure out a way to help support them. Okay, it is manageable because there have been students that do it. It obviously isn't recommended, but what can we do to help those students that still need to work? Yeah.
Totally read that. Because I was very surprised when they did, they had everyone stand up who worked like full-time, part-time. And I saw, and I'm like, how we're all going to do this?
Yeah.
I will say, what is it? Dr. Bott. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him. He kind of did the prereq side, so I'm getting
yeah.
But he's like the head of the biology department here. And I know he started a series where he would have some of the senior nursing students come in and talk to some of the students who are currently in like the science side of the classes. So, and I was trying to connect with him, but like when he reached out, that was like last semester, and girl, that was with the community and adult health. So I was like, that didn't happen.
As soon as you said community, I said,
but I will say that's one professor that I will say he's actually making the steps to kind of prepare students, or at least encourage them, like, hey, do your best in your sciences, and also, relate to nursing students who already made it in. And hopefully, sidebar, this is why I want to do this podcast, partially why I did my content creating, where it's like kind of lifestyle content, but also having something more intimate, more like conversational, so we can actually, okay, this is the aesthetics, but this is the nitty gritty.
This is what's going to get you through. This is what you need to be aware of.
Right, so you don't get no surprises. Because I was definitely surprised.
We were surprised. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right. So, I'm curious. So, was there any, like, one, I'm like, what is it? Oh, we're doing good on time. I'm sorry, I'm just checking on my time.
Oh, yeah, we're doing marvelous.
Okay, bet. So I'm going to just have to edit that out. So I'm curious, was there any, like, one clinical experience that just, like, pops into your mind that just stays with you, negative or positive? Like,
negative or positive? Well, I can't forget my first. I feel like my first clinical experience. I feel like that was the most heavy one, even though, because we were on the med-surg floor in High Point, but it was just that whole, like, it was just completely new. Like, I had no idea what to expect. And I think I honestly, before starting the program, I don't think I really knew deep down what it meant to be a nurse. I did not know what it meant.
Girl, me neither.
I really couldn't tell you. I was just like, I saw that nurses spend the most time with the patients, and that's what I want to do. So there we go. Let's just go for it. But I did not know what it meant to be a nurse. And then that experience taught me so much. It was just like a crash course of just what a life as a nurse is going to look like. And it looked so busy, especially on a med-surg floor.
Yeah.
It was so hectic, so exhausting and tiring. But it was like, it was just interesting. Yeah. It was just a whole new, like, set of way of thinking. That was what got me, the way of thinking. I had to change the way I thought about things. You really have to, like, I know we hear critical think, like, a lot, but there's no better way to put it besides we have to critically think about everything we do. But this past adult health one, when we went to, I was on a neuro floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't an ICU, but it was just a regular neuro floor. But I really enjoyed that experience. And it was the instructor. She was amazing. She really, like, advocated for the patients and gave me, like, a new set of not interventions, but like routine when it came to checking on your patients that I really enjoyed. And then the people that I had my clinical with that that rotation was just amazing. We got a lot closer, and just it helped in the class in general because, you know, the people that you have to study like exams with are the same people you're going to be spending 12-hour shifts with too. So yeah, it was a good experience. And it was also a time when I felt confident in myself. I felt way more confident. I felt more comfortable managing patients, more than one patient, or just being a leader also, because they also had that leader position open up for us. And I was like, I was a little confused. I was like, what is that? But yeah, it was just, I liked it. It's really good. That was my favorite rotation. I really wanted it to be maternity because I was so excited for it, but we didn't even get that much like clinical experience. We only went twice. That was it. Yeah. So it was like, but
I don't know why. That's so hard. I think, I want to say we had at most 4 when we did our maternity. But yeah, they really do like, I don't know if that's with spacing or anything, but they definitely do like limit your maternity hours. Yeah. So I was real bummed out. And it was hilarious because I think we were on labor delivery. This is like, I'm getting sidetracked. We were on like labor and delivery, and it was like me and another classmate were following this one nurse. Yeah. Because this girl looked like she was about to have this baby, like vaginally. Oh, wow. And so we were like, personally, we were like, oh, we would want to do it all natural, all that good stuff, no surgery. So we're also trying to see, do we really want to do this though? So we kept checking on her to see, like, you gonna have this baby yet?
We want to see.
We want to see, cause like I got some personal decisions I want to make. So yeah, I'm getting sidetracked, but I'm glad you brought that up about that first clinical, cause I will say the most vivid clinical experience was my first one. Yeah. And me, I'm like an extremely shy person, which seems kind of weird because I'm a content creator. But when I say I'm shy, I'm shy. I just remember, we did our pre-conference, all that good stuff. You know, we get ready to go. This is our expectations, all that good stuff. And my clinical instructor just drops me off at my patient's door. She's like, okay, Fatima. And shout out to her because she was so patient and kind with me. Because, girl, when I say I was like, so nervous. Literally, I remember standing outside that girl's door, that patient's door, for like a solid 5 minutes, just like,
what do I do first?
Right.
Or doing your first assessment, too.
Right. And it was a nice older lady. It was a really nice older lady. And she was patient with me. Like, she even had a headache at that time, but she was like, it's okay, just, do what you got to do. This is your learning experience. Yeah. And she was, like, patient with me throughout, like, that entire day. Yeah. And I will say at the end of the day, she gave me, like, the best pep talk. Aww. And that kind of, like, solidified for me. It was like, okay. Like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I really feel like that kind of set the base, like the tone. I would say it set the tone for like the rest of my clinical experience. Definitely having like that first clinical day, and I will say that first clinical semester definitely sets the tone to how you relate to clinicals. Because I will say after that, it was like, oh, I love clinicals. Yeah. I couldn't wait to go to clinical. Yeah. And it's like definitely having a good clinical instructor who not only teaches you a routine, because y'all, it's a lot to handle. So you really have to set up a routine of how you even like grab your meds, how you organize your meds, how you do your assessments, who gets a bath, who gets what. Yeah. And I will say my clinical instructor, my first semester really set the basis on how I kind of navigate even through all of my clinicals. And even some clinical instructors were like, okay, you had like a pretty good, decent start. Yeah. Because of that. So I always appreciate her for that. Even when it comes to like mannerisms or even like starting out first out the gate, hey, so you want to take a bath today? When we going to take a bath today? So it's like, and I notice some clinical instructors don't do that, or they be like, don't bother, if they're like sleeping and stuff. So it's kind of, it varies a little bit, but I always appreciate that foundation. And I will give make a note, if your first clinical isn't that great, whether that be the clinical instructor is just not engaging, I don't know, it's just not how you thought it would be, I would definitely recommend, asking a lot of questions and go to other nurses. Oh, okay? Yeah. Definitely.
Look, you can tell what nurses are more, I don't want to say fun, but like more willing to speak with you, more open to just communicating in general, and you can just tell that they want to teach, that they're naturally there just to help you, because you will meet some really nice nurses that are there that they want to help you, but you might also meet some nurses that you might be paired up with that are just tired and don't really have the energy to help a student. So you really just have to, keep an open mind, read the room, and see who wants to help you, and then just ask anyone, honestly.
Most definitely. And okay, so it was the same. I will say my adult health one, definitely, that was the confidence builder. That was like the confidence solidifier. Like, okay, I'm a little nurse, y'all. So because and I will say this, that's what I'm kind of nervous about, because after graduation, I will be working on a med-surg floor like a little bit, but I'm trying to work my way towards our cardiac ICU. I had to take a step back and realize I don't think I ever worked a med-surg floor. So that's what I'm kind of nervous about. I want to say my first semester, it was intermediate. So it was an intermediate floor. So nurses, they had maybe at most four or five patients. And some of them had med-surgy stuff. So a lot of PO meds, but there was a whole lot of like IVs. But I mean, at that moment, they didn't want us to mess with that because we fresh out the gate.
They're like, don't touch anything. Go do your assessment and that's it.
Literally. So I will say that I'm kind of nervous about that because I keep hearing about 6, 7, 8 patients. And it's a lot. I won't say fast paced, but it's a little bit more chaotic. I don't know.
I think it's more like busy work, I feel like, because I remember my first patient that I had filling out med templates, and it was 27 medications, and I was like,
oh no, ma'am.
I was like 27. 27. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that there's so many medications that you have to give for each patient, and it's just like, how are we supposed to, assess and reassess, make sure none of these medications are like interfering with each other? So I think that was the biggest thing, was just like their meds. That was, and then like other orders that you might get also while you're caring for that patient. But it's like, it's a whole new set of just interventions that you have to give for each patient. Obviously, you have like the routine, like assessment, and then, if there's anything abnormal, you'll further assess and then call the doctor and talk to them about it. But then it's like, if you just have like a set of orders that you have to do for each patient, new admits, whatever it is, it adds on. And then like sometimes they, they have their call bell, they need help, they're hungry, or they need to be turned over, whatever it may be, they use the restroom. There's just so much on top of it. So it's like they may not be in critical condition, but it's just a lot to do.
It balances out, I guess. So, well, I'm excited for that then. Just to, I'll just take it as the time to really get my time management together. So that's what we're gonna take it as. But back to the adult health one, because there was a time where we were supposed to do like the team lead, and then we were supposed to do 2 patients, which I want to say that was like a limited time frame we're supposed to do that. Our clinical instructor, she told us from the get-go, she's like, oh yeah, y'all gonna do 30-minute breaks, y'all gonna get the experience of a nurse. So yes, so she was very, which I appreciate her for. I really do appreciate her for it. It's just the delivery and her mannerisms, it was a little off-putting at first. But I really do appreciate her for that. But because I think we're supposed to start taking care of 2 patients like that spring semester or something like that. Girl, she had us starting like 1 or 2 weeks before that, and she let us have 2 patients for like the rest of the clinical thing. So having to deal with 2 patients and actually like take care of them, not just like try to low-key document on both. That was definitely like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm like, she just being mean. But like, no, it was like, hold on. Like, it really built my confidence. I really felt confident walking into the room like, hey, do you need anything? Let me actually fix this for you, blah, blah, blah. And actually like feel comfortable doing it low key. I won't say by myself, because we were still like monitored a little bit. But it definitely prepared me for preceptorship, because that was something that she mentioned. She was like, She said, I know y'all. She said, I'm just here. I'm just to work. Y'all may not like me. That's okay. She said, but I'm here to prepare you for preceptorship. She kept saying, this is going to be good for you when you do preceptorship. And it did. Yeah. It really did. So I will say going on the cardiac ICU, seeing like a lot, for my preceptorship, seeing a lot of IVs, and a lot of them are like literally like in their jugular, in their like actual arteries. Oh, wow. It was like very unnerving. So I will say starting out, I was a little nervous because, okay, I'm going from like adult health 1, it was a rehab hospital. Oh. So the most complicated thing I dealt with was like the feeding pumps. So I go from that, and it's like
to IV in the jugular vein. Or like even central lines.
Or like majority of them are on vents.
Yeah. Oh, ventilators.
Yeah. So it's like, it was such a hard transition, and it just looked intense when you never see anything like that in person except on TV. So I will say that was an adjustment, but I will say I definitely leaned on my previous experience to kind of get used to like, okay, I know how to walk in a room, see what my patient needs, at least on like the surface level stuff, and kind of, work my little independence a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I like that. No, my clinical instructor always said, she used to tell us, this is not a hotel. Go wake them up and ask them, get them up, get them dressed, and get them bathed, and do your assessment. She would always say that. I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's harsh. But she was like, they're here to get better, so we need them up and moving. So she'd always say that. So I think of that now every time I go into a room. Like we're here to get you up and going, get you better. So let's get you in that shower.
Right. Yeah, and I will say that was like an adjustment of, because I'm the type of person is kind of like, for the most part, I'm easygoing. I'm the type of person, I'll let you manage yourself. So even that transition of, no, you kind of low-key telling the patient what to do. Yeah. It was kind of like, oh my God, this is crazy. Yeah. But it is kind of you kind of have to transition to the mindset of, what I'm doing, no, it is going to make you better. So it's like, I have to do this. Yeah. Or even like, you're moving a patient and they're saying, ow, ow, ow. Yeah. And you're just like,
I used to get scared. They'll be like screaming in pain. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry, but it's going to get worse like if we don't reposition you. So it's just, Yeah. Keeping that end goal in mind of why you're there, why we're doing what we're doing helps a lot.
Right. And I will say that's definitely a big part of that mindset shift, like you mentioned, the critical thinking. Because I want to say, in general academia, you hear it. Yeah. And I think everybody has different expectations of what critical thinking is. But it's like nursing-wise, no, it's literally totally different. I have never thought anywhere near close to it, because not only is like, okay, you got to think of how each body system works with each other and how a disease would influence it, how a drug would influence it. But you also got to think about liability. You got to think about how to navigate with family, legalities, and things like that, all while you're trying to deliver care. And it's like totally, totally different than what you're used to. So, yeah.
It's just a big umbrella. It's under there. And you have to be aware of everything. Yeah.
But that's our little 2 cents. Do you have any, I would say, do you have any advice for any upcoming nursing students, or any, like, little Ashley when she first started out?
Little Ashley. I guess I would tell her that it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Just keep on going. That's all I can say. And even when you feel alone, just know that you're never alone. There are so many other people out there that are struggling just like you, and they've accomplished. Like, I've always thought, I look at the graduates in the hall, and I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it. So I'm screaming. Yeah, but you're not alone, and just stay strong in your heart and your beliefs and what you hold close to you. Yeah. And then don't be scared of asking for help. That's the biggest thing. It can be uncomfortable sometimes, but just ask for help. That's the biggest thing. And that you're more than capable. That if you have this opportunity, it's for a reason, and you can get through it. More than capable to accomplishing your goals.
Heavy on it.
Yeah.
Lordy. Thank you so much for this. I'm so glad you were able to join.
I'm so glad I made it.
That's awesome. So thank y'all guys for tuning in to our little 2 cents.
Yes.
Definitely, if y'all have any more questions or you'd like to see Ashley come back on, I would definitely love to have you back on because, girl.
I'd love to do that.
So, yes, and I will definitely plan on bringing more nursing students who have, well, new grads now.
Yeah,
Yes. Heavy on the grad.
Yes. Graduate nursing.
Period. So who I know have interesting stories and bring them on as well. So if y'all have any questions you'd like to ask them or just in general have any comments, any feedback, definitely let me know down below or inbox me whatever you're more comfortable with. And I will see y'all guys next time. Bye.